alarmed. We're Negroes.
Oh, man, no, that's too much bass in your voice. That scare white folks. We were wondering if we can borrow some brown sugar.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Mike Lowry. I'm just playing. I'm Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blerd. This is my C.P.T. review of Bad Boys, the 1995 classic starring Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. As most of you know, Bad Boys Ride or Die comes out this week. So I said that I was going to be doing a kind of rewatch and review of these films. Now, I've seen them multiple times. I realized in watching this that I only had seen the original Bad Boys in pieces. I had never watched it from start to finish, but I did remember how the bad guy died. I remembered T. Leone being in it and her whole situation, the dog crapping on Mike's thing, and the fact that Marcus is pretending to be Mike and Mike is pretending to be Marcus and all that kind of stuff. But I had never watched it from start to finish, man. So before I dive into it, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you know whenever content's coming out. I'm going to be putting out this one today. We moved the schedule because of the Venom trailer, but we got this one today. We've got Bad Boys 2 tomorrow. We'll have Bad Boys for Life on Thursday. Thursday, I should also be going to see Bad Boys Ride or Die, so I'll give you my out of the theater reaction, and then I will give you a full review of that on Friday. All that being said, these particular reviews aren't going to be hella long. Again, these are older movies and stuff like that, but some of the stuff that sticks out to me. I did realize that I definitely love Bad Boys 2 significantly more than 1. I quote 2 all the effing time.
Nigga, who that is, the dog? Reggie! Who the fuck is Reggie?
The devil is not welcome here.
You got to call yourself the devil in his house. Shit!
You don't get the escalation of Bad Boys 2 without setting such a solid foundation in Bad Boys the OG.
You forgot your boarding pass. Oh, shit.
It's very clear that both Will and Martin have a very specific chemistry with each other that works so incredibly well. If you're a fan of Fresh Prince, if you're a fan of Martin, the sitcom, you know that they're both very quick with their words.
Oh, what's so funny?
Carlton told a joke.
No, Hillary. Carlton is a joke.
Honey, what was it?
A mouse, Gina.
A mouse? A real one?
No, Gina, a cartoon mouse. Speedy Gonzales.
You know that they're very good with physical comedy. And that they are hugely beloved, not only in the Black community, but really by so many people around the world. So putting these two superstars together who were at that point really starting to hit their stride, hit their prime, was a fantastic idea. And you got to give Michael Bay credit for these first 2 films and what he really did with it. So you look at the story, obviously they work in the narcotics department. This multi-million-dollar, I think it's $100 million heroin shipment gets stolen. And then you have the classic bad guy. The bad guy in this, I can't remember the actor's name, but he is also the bad guy in Kiss of the Dragon. And I couldn't put my finger on it for the longest time. And then it finally clicked. And that's one of my favorite Jet Li movies of all time. But I just thought it was a standard buddy cop movie that really allowed both of them to shine. Now, I will say, I did notice all of a sudden that Will didn't really have as much of a role in this as Martin did. Because it was Martin acting like Mike Lowry, we focused on that a lot in his interaction with T. Leone. You did get a little bit of Mike.
Buenos dias, mi amor.
Going, but you don't really get to see Mike Lowry until you get to Bad Boys 2.
Usa. Officer Mike. Qué rico, papi.
Papi, that's daddy, right?
Yeah.
Kind of objectively a fact. I wasn't keeping track of how much time they're both on screen, but I just noticed all of a sudden, I was like, wow, Will is not in this quite as much as I remember. This doesn't feel as buddy copish. It feels like Martin doing his thing, and then Will kind of pops up every now and again to kind of give like the sex appeal, or that he's hitting on every single woman and sleeping with every woman and all that kind of stuff. But things that I really love about this film, honestly, again, their immediate banter back and forth, setting up that relationship of Marcus really being the hardworking class, cop that's like doing it as best he can. He's got all these kids and he's married man. Mike Lowry, the bachelor who came from money, so he doesn't really need this job, but he does it because, partially probably a thrill seeker, partially like a power trip, but honestly is such a good individual. He just feels like it's his duty and the right thing to do. And then obviously the banter back and forth with all the other cops. You've always got two Latino officers that he's arguing with. The captain being as angry as he is and everything else like that. I forgot how bad he was at basketball. That was hilarious. There was just a lot of really, really cool stuff throughout, and you could tell that they just let Will and Martin cook. They just let, I'm sure a lot of the lines were written as is, and I'm sure a large amount of it was just, these are two of the funniest men on television. One of the greatest stand-ups that we've seen of that particular generation. So you just got to let them do them, and they did, and they made magic. Now, again, it didn't make nearly as much money as the second one, and didn't have nearly as much notoriety, but it did well enough that the sequel may have come almost a decade later, because this is 95, that one came out 03, but it still was good enough that they recognized we got to put these two back together again. And especially once you get to 03, now you're talking about all of them having had their 90s runs of, Independence Day, Wild Wild West, I, Robot, all that kind of stuff. Thin Line Between Love and Hate, Big Mama's House, Blue Streak, all sorts of just films that they both had been a part of, let alone their sitcoms going on for as long as they did and being so successful. So it was a no-brainer to give them the shot in the 90s, but then to really watch them come back together in 2003. So all that being said, if I had to rank them, I'm probably going to give this, I'd say a solid 3. It's not blow your mind, holy crap. It's stuff we've seen before. But lots of quotables in there. And again, really setting up the framework for what this franchise will become. And you getting to see that relationship between Martin and Will, not just as characters, but as actors, really blossom and be there for each other, throughout their careers like that. So I just thought that was super fantastic to see. But what do you think? Do you rocks with Bad Boys? Is this your favorite of the actual franchise? Or are you more of a Bad Boys 2 person? Or are you a Bad Boys for Life person? I really want to know, man, what you are thinking. What's your favorite quotable from the movie as well? And in your favorite scene, I'd probably say, probably my favorite scene would have to be the moment when Mike and Marcus get found out by Marcus's wife. So right before the big fight scene breaks out, but he's trying to pretend, you still got Marcus pretending he's Mike, and then on the news you see them hanging out with T. Leone's character. So then she shows up to the house, and then they're trying to pretend like it's not happening.
Oh, man. Teresa, let me get your husband.
You can keep the wedding ring in your pocket because your new little girlfriend.
Ooh, shit.
You got naked ass Yvette came in at one point, and Marcus threw her out because, it's like, oh, girl, you will freak, get out of here. That whole sequence is absolutely insane and absolutely hysterical. Y'all probably can already guess what my favorite part of Bad Boys 2 is going to be, because it tends to be a lot of people's, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. But again, please go down in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And again, I got a lot of great content coming out for you this week. I also got to throw my my Adventures with Superman episode 3 review out there. We'll get that a little bit later. I am on set all day, so I wanted to make sure that you at least had this to hold you over on this Tuesday afternoon. All right, y'all. I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. Y'all have a good rest of your day. We ride together. We die together. Bad Boys for Life.